Okay, check, 1, 2, test. Hey guys, I'm joined here with Charlie. Charlie, you want to say something? That's disgusting. Why'd you lick it? What's up, guys? Today I'm coming at you from my floor, which is like super old school YouTuber of me. I wonder if a lot of you guys know that. When YouTube first started, we were all broadcasting from our floor. It was like the relatable thing to do. Does this not feel more engaging to you? Let's talk about today's video. I don't know if I like this shot. Hi, guys. Today's a different video. This video, we'll be talking about mental health, anxiety, panic attacks. So just a trigger warning. If the topic of that triggers you, I'm just putting it out there right now. Every January, I like to do a video on mental health. There's a day called Bell Let's Talk Day, and it's in support of mental health initiatives. So it's a good cause. I'm gonna try to make it as engaging and as informative as I possibly can, but it's not gonna be like, hey, here's a french fry that's dipped in dick. That's not gonna be happening. No guarantees. I'm somebody that has experienced anxiety in my life. It doesn't translate over to camera. I know that. It's intended that way. And oftentimes it's a shock to people when they think, wow, like you're very outgoing or you're very outspoken. I always associated somebody with anxiety being like an introvert, quiet, by themselves. But like, not the case. From my experience, not the case. I've talked a lot about my anxiety on this channel, but let's just, for those of you that are new, here's what it is for me. I don't live day to day with anxiety. Okay, and I'm thankful for that. But I've also put in a lot of work so I don't have to live like that. Mental health and anxiety all hit me straight in the face. Like this right here is anxiety. College. It was like this. Hey Dan, I got a little gift for you. Socked me right in the face. I had my first panic attacks in college. Scariest moment of my life. In that moment when I was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks, I never thought I would ever be in a condition like I am now. And I want that to sit with you, because I know right now, if you're feeling anxious, your brain is telling you this is forever. This is how the rest of your life is gonna be. And it's lying to you. We don't like liars. I recently learned of this thing called infant time. When a mother is breastfeeding their kid. No, let's stick with baby. Kid is a little too old for that. When a mother is breastfeeding their baby and the mother leaves, that baby in that moment has no idea as to what 1 second is, what 1 minute is, what 1 hour is. And to them, that moment feels like forever. They don't know that the mother's gonna come back to them. They don't know when it's gonna happen again. They have no idea. So their brain is telling them, this is a new normal. It's here and now. Your mother's gone now. I realized infant time is something that greatly impacts me during anxiety. I go into this state of like, oh my God, this is forever. How am I gonna get out of this? So I was at college. I had my first panic attack. I went to the hospital because I thought I was dying. I thought I was having a heart attack. They gave me like a pill to calm down, and then I spent like the night there. I then went home. That day, at the exact same time that I had the first panic attack, I had the second one. So my very first loop happened, and I started freaking out. It is equally as embarrassing for me to share, but it's also common. So my girlfriend at the time calls me an ambulance. I go in the ambulance to the hospital. They checked everything and they're like,
nothing's wrong with you. Like your heart is fine. Everything's fine.
So I remember during that time, I'd go to bed and I'd just feel like ultimate scared, like you're on the edge of a cliff, like somebody is gonna murder you in the next room. I just want to share with you guys right now what has helped me in a huge way with anxiety. The biggest lesson over the years is that anxiety is something you can't push away. It's like a beach ball that when you try to push it under the water and you're gonna keep holding it, it's never gonna stop. But the second you let go of that beach ball, it's gonna shoot out of the water and even go higher than it was to start with. When you try to suppress it, when you try to push it away, when you say, no, you're not welcome here, I hate you, get away and go to your comfort zone, or whatever it is, it's not fixing the problem. It's running from the problem. Here's another analogy. Picture anxiety like that one friend you have that is obsessed with conspiracy theories. They're your friend, they're in your group, but they're annoying as shit. Sometimes you're just like, okay, like we get it. Can you leave us alone, sort of thing. This is how I think you need to rework your relationship with anxiety in your head. Instead of viewing it as this big, scary monster that is here to destroy you and take you over and call all the shots, view it as this. Okay, all right, anxiety's here. Okay, come on in. No, take a seat. Let's get this over with. Let's chat this out. Like, what's up? Just like those people that are conspiracy theories, if they come in and we're like, no, that's not true, it angers them, and they're just like, no, trust me. Lend an ear and validate what anxiety is saying versus fighting it, pushing it away, running from it. Because just like a person, that's only gonna make them even more angry and want to be heard even more. That's just my way with it. Anxiety is like a Chinese finger trap, okay? Your fingers are in there, and the harder you pull, the tighter it gets. So you're not getting out of that trap. And the only way to get out of that trap is to actually go in, which will then loosen the grip, and you'll be able to pull your finger out. It's a beautiful metaphor for dealing with anxiety. If you run from it and you pull, it's gonna tighten its grip and it's not gonna let you go. Go into it, understand it, and it'll loosen up and then you're free. That'll really help you separate you from your anxiety. Because a lot of people will be like, I'm so-and-so, I am anxiety. And my belief is I am not. It's a thought process, it's a loop, and it is a subcategory of something else. So it's like, I'm Dan, this is anxiety. Sometimes anxiety comes in and bothers me. I think the big turning point for me was when I showed empathy to that side of me and was like, okay, you got something to say, you're trying to warn me, that's okay. Look, I really appreciate you with what you're doing. I think I'm good right now, but thank you for warning me. Look, I recently read this book, and I highly recommend you guys check this book out. It's like an anxiety Bible. It is so well put together. It's called Dare. The info in there is where I'm getting a lot of this. Anxiety thrives and it survives off of the idea of that you're alone, that nobody will understand, that it's gonna be like this forever. It feeds off of that narrative. I once had a big panic attack in Calgary, and I thought I was gonna die that night. I didn't know how I was gonna die, whether it was I'd have a heart attack, or I'd just drop dead, or I would lose control and I'd jump out my window. It was a scary time. It was probably the scariest moment of my entire life. I'll never forget it. You have a rush of adrenaline going through your body that makes you feel unstable, shaky, tingly. Your legs feel all wobbly, and that feeds into the story that you're gonna die. Reading this book, the author said, you're not actually scared during a panic attack. You're uncomfortable because of the rush of adrenaline. And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I was frightened by the feeling, not of the situation. These panic attacks that I've had in my life were all just fear of the feeling and not the situation. If there was real danger, you wouldn't have time to self-reflect and be like, oh my God, my heart is pounding, this is freaking me out. You would try to run, you'd try to flee, you'd try to resolve the situation in some capacity. And that's a great indicator of, are you in danger or are you just having a panic attack? Because if you're freaking out because of something, most likely it's not a dangerous situation, because you wouldn't usually have time to freak out in that situation. The update this year is that 2020 was a hell of a year for people that are anxious. It threw at us the unknowns. No timelines, no solution, no answers to some of these questions about a pandemic. And if you're watching this right now, you made it. Give yourself credit for situations like this. You made it. Don't discredit that to, I barely made it. There's no such thing as barely made it. You made it. Period. Accept it, absorb it. You're stronger than you think. I may come across as a guy online that cannot relate to anxious feelings, anxiety, depression, or intense loneliness or any of that. I promise you I've been there, and I want to be an example of I promise you can get out of it. Anxiety really took over my life for a number of years, college, post-college. I wasn't going to sit there and accept that I'm broken, that I'm alone, and that nobody will understand. And so I went and saw a therapist, and I thought therapy was only for 45-year-old people that have been divorced that are losing it. And it's not. It's for a scared 18-year-old in college. It could be for someone struggling with depression at 14, 25, 46, 82. It's for everybody. So the stigma of therapy, I want you to throw away, because it is the biggest thing that has saved a big chunk of my life and being able to function how I do today. You are everything you want to be. You're everything you think you need to be, and that's all that matters. You're not born with a curse, and you're not born with a crutch or a burden to bear your whole life. And if that is anxiety, I'm telling you, you can work through it so it becomes more manageable. And you could take something that was once so overbearing and be able to put it in your pocket. If you guys are struggling right now, the only thing I can do, and I'm not a doctor, is to say that people care about you more than you think they do. You can get out of this situation. This is not forever. Remember infant time. I don't think it's helpful for me to be online to people that I've never met before and sit here and say, I love you, because I know when people have said that in the past, I'm like, you don't even know me. And it sort of discredits things. But just because I don't know you, and just because I may not be able to say I love you to your face, I promise you there's somebody in your life that can say that to your face right now, that they love you and that they care about you. So if you're feeling a certain way, you can get help. There's a lot of different avenues you can take. Some things may work for you, some things may not, because your mental health can be a complex thing. This wasn't a traditional video that I do, and that's okay. I will be back to all of that. I find that it is my job to come out and share with you guys things that have helped me, so they can help you. I love you guys. It's whatever you want to take that as. I love that you support me, and I love that you're still trying. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys later.